Hey guys, it's Vas here from Aussie Playground, just giving you a very quick update on the rival monster truck. I've had a couple of people message me asking for the next running video. They've asked me, how the truck's going. Have I, fixed it? Is there any issues? What's going on? So I figured I'll do a bit of a quick update and give you all a bit of a story of what's been going on with this truck. And I'll try to be as quick as I can, so not to bore you too much. Now very quickly, just to recap what happened for those of you who haven't seen the first running video, after I ran the truck for the very first time, I actually ended up breaking it. I broke a couple of things. On the day I found that I actually broken 2 shock caps, a third one actually popped off, and that pretty much finished the running video for that day. But since bringing the truck back, I've actually found that I broke a third shock cap, one that wasn't picked up on the day. This guy here is also broken. So I actually ended up breaking 3. So since then, I've been advised to go on to Asiatees, give them a go and see how they apparently they got some shocks, and just see how they go with how I go with the shocks from there. I actually found Asiatees to be really good. They have a lot of really affordable, upgradable bits and pieces for a variety of different cars, and I do highly recommend you guys go check them out. And they've even got a Facebook page and all this type of stuff. So very good, very affordable, and postage costs next to nothing for us, because they're actually based in Hong Kong. There they are there. Okay, so very good. I ended up getting some shocks for the rival, and these are the shocks that I ended up buying. These guys here, and you might be wondering why they're on the Emax and not on the rival. Well, I'll explain that to you in a second. Basically, these shocks are all full aluminium. They cost me about $10 a pair, which is ridiculous. It's very cheap for full aluminium shocks. But when I got them, I made sure that they were the same length as the original, which is about 100 millimeters from eye to eye. So I made sure they were about the same length. But when I got them, I actually found them to be way too soft. And the original ones have a lot more stiffness to them. They're plastic bodied shock, and they're cheap and whatever. And these actually don't do anything. They're actually fake, these reservoirs, which is really disappointing from Team Associated, why they wouldn't bother, or why they would bother putting something like this on here when it doesn't actually do anything. It's just for looks. But anyway, these actually have a very good feel to them, okay? But even these struggle to keep the truck up. I found that I had to introduce some spacers on here, stiffen them up a little bit, because the truck was just sagging the whole time. The front just kept coming up, and I had to lift it up. These felt a lot softer, so I didn't even bother to put them on the truck. I just tried them. I also swapped out the oil on a couple of them, put some 70 weight oil in there, and I still found them to be too soft. So I've decided to put them on the Emax. It's a much lighter truck, it's a smaller truck, and the thing is that the Emax had these on there. These are an upgraded shock that I bought some time ago. I don't know what brand they are. I know that I bought them from eBay. They cost me around about $100 for all 8 of them. That was delivered as well. Whether that's a lot or a little, I don't know, but I wanted to get something decent for it. And these have a very good feel, very nice dampness to them. They work really well. And on the Emax, I've always found them to be a little bit stiff. I never really bothered sort of tuning them or changing the oil. I think I've got 70 weight oil in here as well. So or it could be 50 weight, I can't remember. But anyway, the Emax always had a bit of a stiffer ride with these, so now I should have a more plusher ride. These should be a lot better for this type of truck. So that's where the Asiatees ones have gone, and now these are going to go to the Emax. To the rival. These are going to come here, which works out because these are blue, black springs. They'll look a lot better than the blue and the yellow springs. So definitely, as far as looks goes, these will look a lot better on the rival. So these are going to go here. But then, as I was about to install the shocks, I actually came across another problem. And the problem is that the way that the shocks mount onto your shock tower is you've got these plastic sleeves that are sort of, part of the shock tower themselves. You've got a bolt that goes through them, and then one shock mounts on either side. Now the issue is that when you go to aluminium shocks like this, the shock cap up here, this bit here, is thicker than the original, and I'll put that in the center there so you guys can see. So you can see that that's, you know, a lot thicker than the original one. So what happens is when you put one of these on either side, I'll grab that one. When you put one of these on either side, the bolt no longer sticks out far enough to put the little nut in all the way. And this little nut actually has a rubber ring on the end of it to stop it from backing out. Now you can put it on, but it doesn't catch that rubber ring, and chances are that, you know, if you leave it like that, it's probably going to back out and you could lose it, and then your shocks will come out, and, you know, that's not fun, having to look for a little nut. So I decided that I was going to modify the shock towers, and all I was going to do was I was just going to shave these sleeves down a bit to give me that extra length in the bolt that I needed. So I did that with the rear shock tower, and this is the rear shock tower here. I shaved them down, all 4 sides, took about 1 millimeter off each side, and I was able to put the bolt in and put the screws, put the shocks on and tighten it all up, and it was all good to go. However, when I went to put the shock tower back, I found a problem. Have a look at that. It's broken. Something that wasn't picked up on the day when, you know, I ran the truck, and it wasn't picked up even when I took the shock tower off. It was only when I was about to put it back on that I noticed that this was actually cracked. So after waiting about a week for the shocks to arrive, I now have to go back and order some new shock towers, which I did. I've already got them. They came in a couple of days ago, and I figured I'll do a bit of a quick video now to show you all what shock towers I got, because then, you know, once you order them, you got to wait a little bit of another week or so to get them. And these are the shock towers that I got. Okay, so blue aluminium from Asiatees. These are a GPM shock tower. They look very, very nice. This one here is the rear. I'll show you the front one, which is this guy. I've opened it up because I've had a bit of a play around with it. And another thing that I recommend you guys get are some of these. Now these are the replacement bolts for the originals. Okay, they're a little bit longer, which is ideal, and they're also a hardened steel. They cost bugger all. They cost like $1.50 or something, or $1 something each. I can't quite remember. But I bought 6 of them. I figured I'll keep a couple of spares in case things go wrong. And, you know, they actually give you a discount for 6. They give you a discount for 3, and then they give you a bigger discount for 6. You know, you save yourself a few cents here and there, and you end up with a couple of extra spares, which is not a bad idea. Shock towers themselves, $19 each from Asiatees, which I think is an absolute bargain. So these, you know, very nice thick shock tower. They come in a variety of different colors as well. You can get them in a silver, in a gunmetal, in a red. There's a black as well if you want to stick with a similar look to the original ones. There's black. So these are the shock towers that I'm going for, and this is an example of one of the bolts already on there with the washers and everything else. So compared to the original, which is this guy here, plastic washers to hold your shocks on the original. You've now got aluminium washers, and you know, you've got aluminium there as well, which is quite thick. Basically serving the purpose of these sleeves that are on the original shock towers. Plus here you've also got 3 positions to mount your shock, so you've got a couple of options there to change the suspension geometry a little bit and be able to play around with how the truck handles and performs. So this is what I'm going for. This is what I'm working on at the moment. But before I go, I do want to point out a couple of things. Number one, I've actually found a place on the interweb where you can buy this truck for $520. Check out $hobbyz.com. They have the Rival Monster truck for $520, and they've actually got a lot of parts specific for the Rival Monster truck, unlike these, which are out of the MGT, which are identical. It's the same thing. But on Hobbyz, they've got a pair of shock towers. All right, they've got these 2 with the body posts on there, the plastic body posts. Would you believe, for just under $10? for the pair of them with the body posts at Dollar Hobbyz. You can buy a new battery tray, you can buy existing, the same A-arms, you can buy bumpers, you can buy receiver boxes, motors, ESCs, transmission cases. You can buy a whole new chassis if you want to. They've even got a replacement body as well, although I do find the replacement body to be a bit pricey. I think it's about $61, fully painted. If it was around the $50 mark, I probably would have bought one. I would have bought another one myself, but I'm holding off on that. That one, the one that I've got, is still good enough. But I'm actually thinking of getting some of these, getting a set of these from Dollar Hobbyz, because it's got the body posts on there. And for $10, honestly, you really can't go too wrong. Asiatees do have replacement body posts as well for the MGT, which is the same. They've got them in aluminium. You can get silver, gunmetal, black. I don't think I saw a blue one there, so I'm thinking I might have to go for a black, or I might even go for like a gunmetal. I'm not sure. Probably not going to go silver though, but maybe a gunmetal would look nice. But I don't know how aluminium body posts really go. I don't know if they, if they're susceptible to bending or if they snap. I much rather prefer the plastic because they're a bit more flexible. But if the aluminium ones go on here, it might put a bit more stress on the shock tower. I want to have a bit of a flexibility point, so I might stick with the plastic ones for now. This thing's going to be used and abused, so I might stick with the plastic ones. Plus the aluminium ones are actually quite expensive. So these were $19. You can get a set of these from Dollar Hobbyz for about $10. So this is worth about 4 times as much when you think about it. But I think it's a good upgrade to avoid things like this happening again. That's why I've gone for the aluminium ones. But that's pretty much it, guys. I'm going to leave it here. Make sure you guys hit the like button before you go, and if you have any questions or comments, please make sure to leave something down the bottom, and I'll do my best to get back to you. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you next time.